Okay, we have finished up with all of the lecture material in Lesson 26, and if you'll notice for the rest of Lesson 26, there are 3 drills and 1 document to create and submit in SAM. So what you're looking at right now is the SAM screen, the list of exercises for this week, starting with Lesson 26, and here it goes all the way down to 30, and it skips 31 because next week we start on 32. Another thing I want you to be aware of is this link up here at the top that says it's always available. This is a an ebook. This is an ebook of your textbook that you're using this semester. That is always available to you. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but sometimes people like to use the book on the screen on one side of the screen and the exercises on the other. So that's entirely up to you. It's available all the time. Here's lesson 26. We're going to click on it and it will give us 2 lines of drills and apply it drills to work through in lesson 26. And I'm going to work through the drills because it's easier to see it the first time, and then after this there won't be any drills in any videos. It will just be lecture material in the videos. When you open an exercise, you get an instruction screen. Read each task completely before attempting it. Once you've completed all the tasks, click the submit button, and if you'll notice, you have to make an 80 on this in order to get out of it. You are allowed 3 errors per task. You can retake it. You can retake it 4 times. I've already done it once to make sure that I know what it's asking, and we're going to click the start button. But one more thing, once you start, you can't stop and restart. So make sure you understand all that. Alright, I clicked the start button. Sam's cranking up. If you can see over here in the shaded area, now it's good to see. You have 12 steps of this task, of these 3 drills. I'm going to enlarge the screen to fill up my monitor so it's easier to see everything. This is the screen you're going to be working on. You do not have to get out of SAM and go into Word. Here are the instructions on the right side of the screen. The instructions are also in your textbook, but since you're working in SAM, follow the instructions in SAM. If you have to go back to your textbook to do any of these exercises, Sam will tell you to do that. The other things that we have on the screen, here's the task list as you saw in an earlier video in the first part of the semester. There are 12 tasks in this set of drills and we have 3 attempts remaining on this. All the icons are not here because this is just a simple screen to indicate that we're working in Windows. Here's the Windows 10 icon. Here's the recycle bin. Here is the taskbar at the bottom of the screen that we're using in this exercise. So the first instruction says to launch Word and open a blank document. And you can do that any way you want to. If you see the Word icon down here, you can use it. If you don't, go to the Start button and click Word 2016. It says open a blank document. Here is the blank document icon. Click it. It says you can create a new blank document by selecting the icon, and it told us in that little pop-up screen that we did it correctly. Now, here's a check your work button. Click it, and it will tell you up here any feedback. It says I didn't type any words. I guess I missed the instruction while I was talking. So let's go back and edit the screen. Alright, key the text below. Click on the screen, make sure your cursor is there. At the end of the line, press the enter key 1 time. Now, this is a paragraph, so do not press the enter key in the middle of the paragraph or at the ends of these lines on the right side of the screen. You come to the end of a sentence, press the space bar 1 time and keep typing. Oop. I am going to correct my mistakes as I go, and then I'll proofread it. Now, the information that you're typing is often extremely very good information that will help you through your exercises in the course. Okay, Alex Jones. An effective way to manage files is to create folders to store related documents. Always name folders and files logically. Typically, needs a capital T. Typically, folder names are formatted using initial caps and file names using lowercase. Okay, end of that typing. So I've keyed the text. I'm going to check my work. It says I have no mistakes. I'm going to click continue. I did that correct, and it's going to move us automatically to the next step in this drill. Now it says save the document in a new folder named Module 3 on your computer. So we have to go in and save this and also create the folder. File. It's the first time we've saved it, so we're going to go to Save As. And here is where they want you to save everything. This is not exactly the way it will show up on your screen if you're doing this without SAM, but this is the way we're going to save it in SAM. It's just a little extra they've added to the Save As screen. Now I can also click Browse, and we want to save this on our computer, and by default, as you saw in the textbook, the computer saves everything to the documents folder if it's a document, or if it's a picture it'll save it to the pictures folder. So we're in the documents folder because you can see the border around it, and here's the module 3 folder that's already created for us. So we are going to, and here's Alex Jones. I'm going to click save to see what happens. It says the answer is incorrect. Retry. Alright, we have to double click the folder to open it. We want to save it on the computer in the Module 3 folder, and it says save the document in a new folder named Module 3 on your computer. So if Module 3 folder is not opened, we haven't done all the steps correctly. Alex Jones is the current name of the document because Alex Jones is the first thing that's typed on the document. The Save As Type field says Word Document DOCX. That's proper. We don't ever change that unless we are told to. Now we click Save. Alright, we did that correctly, and now it's moving us to the next step in the drill. Save the document as 26-drill1 in the folder you created in step 3, and then leave the document open. File. Save As. Here is the folder already listed up here. This makes it easy. The documents folder on the hard drive, and then the module 3 folder in the documents folder. Here's the words Alex Jones. We need to save that to 26-drill1, no spaces, and click save. We did that correct, and it's moving us to the next step in the drill. It says close the open document. File. Close. We did that correct, and it's moving us to the next step. Now it says open drill 26-drill1. Alright, we are not in Word. We have to go to Word. So open, start button, Word 2016. Here are the recent documents. It says you haven't opened any documents recently. To browse for a document, start by clicking and on open other documents. So like I said earlier, if you've got to open your documents, always click on open other documents. We need to open the document that we saved on the computer, and here's the documents folder already put up here for us in plain sight. So we click on it. Here's the documents folder, and the module 3 folder is already highlighted with the border around it, and everything in this area is in the Module 3 folder. So all we have to do is either double click the 26-drill1 or click it one time and then click on open, and that is correct. Now we're moving us to the next step. On the line below Alex Jones, key the text below. We're going to key this on here, and the cursor is already located underneath Alex Jones, so we're going to type 26-drill2, no spaces. Check our work. No errors. Alright, we're going to continue. We did it correctly, and it's moving us to the next step. Now we need to save that paper as 26-drill2. File. Save as. Here's our documents folder with the module 3 folder in it. Here's the 26-drill1 name, but this time we need to save it as 26-drill2 as per the instructions. So I'm going to click on that line, and then I'm going to click on that line again at the end of the name of the file and backspace out the 1 and type a 2. And it is a Word document. All we have to do now is click Save. It said we did it correctly, and it's moving us to the next step in the drill. Now, preview and print one copy of the document. In SAM, you're not actually printing things, you're just doing the print command to get the drill finished. So we're going to preview it. We're going to File and Print. Here's the preview of it. It shows the Alex Jones line, it shows the name of the drill, it shows the paragraph and nothing below it, which is exactly what we did. And we're going to leave all of the printer properties and all the settings as they are, and we're going to click the print button. And we did it correctly, and it's moving us to the next step. Now we have to close the open document. So we're going to go to File and Close. We did it correctly. It's moving us on. We're back to the desktop. It says Launch Word and open a blank document. You can create a new blank document by selecting the blank document template when you start Word. Okay, we still don't have a Word icon on the taskbar, so we're going to the Start button. And we're going to click the Word 2016 icon, and we're going to open a blank document. And we did that correctly. It's moving us on to the next step, and it tells us to key the text that they give us. So Alex Jones 26 drill 3, the cursor is blinking here. Don't press enter, don't press the space bar, just type. And at the end of Alex Jones's name, we press the enter key one time and type the name of the drill, and we check our work, and I have no errors. Good. We're going to click continue. We did it correctly, and now it says you have completed all the tasks in this assignment. It is being submitted in SAM, and we can click the close button, and it gives us the progress we made. There were 12 questions. We did 12 of them correctly. We didn't have any incorrect. We didn't skip any questions, and we did, and all the questions were presented. Now, we did have an error on one screen where it allowed us to go back in and do it, but remember, you do have multiple attempts to get it right. If we bombed out on one of the steps totally, we used all our attempts and still didn't get it right, that would be an incorrect answer. Okay, we can either print this screen or close it up and keep moving on. We're going to close it up.